YouTube, Davy VTV, Davy V with you. I cannot tell you how many times I have turned into a driveway, whether looking for an address or just to turn around, to go in the opposite direction in a street, for example. And I'm willing to bet that you cannot remember how many times you have also turned in someone's driveway. The individual on the screen executed an innocent young girl because her friend who was driving did exactly that. What we have done countless of times before. Turn in the driveway. They were lost. A young woman was in the passenger seat, shot and killed by this disgusting individual that you're looking at on the screen. I'm going to roll the videos in a second. And then a young African-American young man was shot twice because he confused the house where he was supposed to pick up his sister. Shot twice by this disgusting individual that you're looking at on the screen right now. In fact, shot him once through the door, hit him in the head, and then shot him a second time as the young man lay on the ground bleeding. What's even more disgusting, or perhaps as equally as disgusting as the incident in the first place, is that the young man then running for help, bleeding, shot twice, was turned away several times by neighbors. One who even made him put his hands up and lay on the ground. Can you imagine that for a second? Absolutely disgusting. So as the title of the video says, is this where we are as a society? As always, thank you for watching Davy VTV. Roll the video.
There is shock in upstate New York. Police say a man shot and killed a 20-year-old woman who was in a car that accidentally pulled into his driveway. Tonight, he is charged with murder. Miguel Almaguer now with that story.
Lost in rural upstate New York, 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis was shot and killed Saturday night when the SUV she was in accidentally pulled into the wrong driveway. It happened in remote Washington County when the sheriff says Gillis and her friends, who were in two vehicles and a motorcycle, couldn't find a nearby home. As the SUV was turning around, investigators say Kevin Monahan walked out of his home and fired 2 shots at the vehicle.
Why did the suspect tell you he opened fire?
He has not given us any motive. He's not given us a reason as to why he felt necessary to fire. They turned around and were in the process of leaving when the shots were fired.
The sheriff says Gillis, who was in the front passenger seat, and her 3 friends never got out of the car and never posed a threat to Monahan, who's charged with murder. After the shooting, driving through the secluded town of Hebron, the group reached an area with cell phone service and called 911.
They were young kids, like anywhere across this country. They were on a weekend night looking for a friend's house, and it was just a senseless and it's a tragic incident.
Monahan, who's 65, has pled not guilty and is expected in court tomorrow. His attorney tells NBC News the shooting was a series of errors which resulted in a tragedy.
Tonight, a 20-year-old shot and killed after pulling into the wrong driveway. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
Charges for the man accused of shooting 16-year-old Ralph Yarl in the head and the arm. Last night, Andrew Lester was charged with felony assault, and Alex Perez is in Kansas City with the latest. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Rebecca. According to court documents, the homeowner told police he thought someone was trying to break in. Authorities say there's no indication any words were exchanged before the gunfire. Overnight, the white man Kansas City police say twice shot black 16-year-old Ralph Yarl after the teen mistakenly knocked on his front door, identified and charged.
The defendant, Andrew D. Lester, is charged with the Class A felony of assault in the first degree. Count 2, the defendant is charged with armed criminal action.
An arrest warrant issued, but the 84-year-old not yet in custody.
As the prosecutor in Clay County, I can tell you there was a racial component.
The charges coming after a weekend of protest in Kansas City. A terrifying ordeal unfolding just before 10 p.m. Thursday night. Loved ones say the teenager was supposed to pick up his younger siblings from a home on 115th Terrace, but Jarl accidentally going to a home on 115th Street instead. When he rang the doorbell, he was shot through a glass door, struck in the head and the arm, police say.
He saw my nephew there. He shot him in the head. My nephew fell to the ground, and he shot him again.
According to court documents obtained by ABC affiliate KMBC, Andrew Lester claims that he thought someone was breaking in and that it was the last thing he wanted to do, but he was scared to death of Jarl's size. Jarl telling police that Lester told him, "Don't come around here," following the shooting. Jarl's aunt says after he was shot, he was able to run for help, but was twice turned away by neighbors.
Finally, at the third house, he was able to get help. However, he was told to put his hands up and get on the ground. And that was when he got on the ground, like he passed out. And he was finally able to get the help.